This is an example of a stupid person, likely a city person, but they came out here. It was still winter and still snow on the ground, but they built a camp right over there. There's some garbage that I picked up from them a few weeks ago, but they drug, wood in, all that kind of stuff, and they had a fire. And then there was a couple. God, it had been like a good week and a half, 2 weeks, because I drive and walk up and stuff like that pretty much every day. But I could smell the fire, right? I thought it was coming from further up, but it was right here, and I didn't put it out. So what happened is it burnt around this tree here, and then it burnt down this way and around those trees down there. So they all have that burn around the base, and that's how something like that happens. We have these big piles of the pine cone stuff, and then if that light's on fire, then it just slowly burns and smolders. So I had to have taken like 2 weeks to get out. And what happened is likely is that he didn't surround his fire ring with rocks, so it was because it was snow on the ground. So what likely happened is that the under edges, because on top of all these the pine cone stuff, literally it was really thick there. It's like a bed. But what likely happened is it started, smoldering down, and they just didn't make sure the fire was out, and then it just kept going. So luckily it was winter, not summertime, because then it could have started a bigger fire. But these are things you got to be careful of in the high country. A lot of times it's a lot drier than it is in a lot of other places. Like I grew up in Wisconsin, you could go to bed and leave the fire burning outside knowing it's going to be fine because there's plenty of moisture in the air, the ground, surrounding vegetation, stuff like that. Well, up here in the mountains, even with snow on the ground, you can see that it's really, really dry. So this kind of stuff can happen. So that is not like from lightning or anything like that. That's from an irresponsible camper, a fire left from an irresponsible camper.